Hello everybody and welcome back to SkySaga Alpha 9. We are over here in the tutorial island, but it's time for a building episode. Now, the reason we're over here is that I am basically doing a little bit of messing around with some lumostone stuff, and I love this island for messing around with lumostone. I've kind of got myself all set up and nicely working here with lumostone. So, as you can see behind me, I've been messing around with some lumostone lighting stuff. Now, this is for the build this week. Now, this week, as you probably have seen from the title and the thumbnail, which I don't know what those are going to be yet, because obviously this is a long time before I make those decisions, but we're going to be doing a Halloween-themed build this week. We're just going to take a quick break from the wastelands we're going to do this week, and maybe next week as our Halloween themed build episodes. But we're going through and I have some big plans for this place. I've just finished watching a movie called Kubo and the Two Strings, and if you haven't seen it, it is just, it's gorgeous, it's amazing. The animation on it is just absolutely incredible. But there is a particular scene in Kubo and the Two Strings where they fight a giant beast, and I thought about it, and that is exactly what I want to replicate for the Halloween build here in SkySaga. So that's what we're going to go through and do. But the other thing I wanted to do was I wanted to put in my own little spooky touches around the place as well. So add in a few things that weren't actually in the movie. Now, quickly, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hook up some power to these particular contraptions that I have going on. And then we'll have a quick look at what these things actually look like. Now, I'm not sure if I've got a knot gate around somewhere. What actually we might do is we'll hook it in off this latch. We'll take this latch down and hook it into here. Beautiful. So now when we turn off one set of lights, we will turn on the other. So here we go. We turn this guy off. Oops. There we go. Turn that off and then turn this one on. And that should turn these on. So what these are supposed to be, and if I put this guy away, we'll quickly actually make a hole in the ground and step down into here just so you can see this a little better. But these are supposed to be kind of like eyes off in the distance. So you've got your nice little like red eye glowing sections going on. Now this one here I think looks the best right now, where they're kind of like back to back, and then this one up here looks a little bit weird having the eyes so far apart. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to go for building these guys that have the little red eyes like right pressed up against each other. So one of the first kind of room that you're going to land into is going to be a big hole, and all around the edges we're going to have these guys in dark stone set up so that it looks like there are kind of like red eyes off in the distance looking at you. And I'm going to set up some really nice tricky little lumostone timers and things to get them to turn on and off in different sequences, and just kind of like kind of open and close the eyes at random almost. Pretty similar to what happened with the Halloween flash system, but with longer delays in them, because when these guys flash, they don't really look like eyes, they just kind of look like a flash, which is not really what we want. So we're going to go through and obviously do that, but we're just on this island to do a little bit of testing, and that was the first bit of testing. The second bit of testing I wanted to do was looking at the dart turret, because I also want to do a quick little dart turret experiment here as well, and add some dart turrets into this build. So we'll take the dart turret out, and if I connect the dart turret up to this knot gate, what I want to test out here is how far away do we need to be from the dart turret to be hit in the head by the dart turret. So in a previous tutorial I mentioned that these guys fire over top of your head, and if I page down you can see why the dart literally does go directly over top of your head. Like it's kind of crazy. We are a little bit short in SkySaga, so I'm going to page back up again, and then we're going to walk down this line, and we're going to see where I first get hit by the dart turret. Now I'm thinking it's going to be all the way down there, and this is the thing, this is a critical part, because I want to have the dart turret up off the ground, because once again in a previous tutorial, here we go, it seems to be around about here. In a previous tutorial I did a quick little thing and showed that the dart turret gets slowed down by the hitbox of pressure plates, and I want a pressure plate system where I can hit somebody who's standing on a pressure plate. But that means that I need to be at least that far away. Awesome, so that's good. Now I have that locked down, so why don't we quickly go over to a brand new island and we'll talk a little bit more about what we're actually going to be doing. So here we go. This is the island that we're going to be tearing down. Now this is not an island that you guys have even seen before, I don't think. It's not really an island that I wanted to talk about too much. It was just an island that I used to hold some materials over between alphas. So as you can see, I've got some black stone and I've got some white sand and I've got some green sand and some metals and various bits and pieces that I thought I'd need. But as you can see, we're most of the way through, well, we're a fair way through Alpha 9 right now and I haven't used any of it. So basically, we're going to go ahead and tear this entire place down. I brought some chests with me to hold all of this stuff and then all of the building materials that we're going to need. But yeah, we're basically just going to tear this whole thing down and then start again and start with a base. I think we're going to go out. I've also got myself a black island as well, an obsidian island, I should say, but it is all made out of black stone. The desert palace is made of obsidian, so we're going to go over there in just a bit, or probably I'll go over there off camera and just grab a entire rucksack's worth of black stone, whatever the black stone is called right now, and I am blanking, probably inkstone. I think it's inkstone. Anyway, we're going to grab a whole bunch of that, and we're going to start by laying down a pad of stone down the bottom here. I'm also, I think I'm going to be a little sneaky with this one, so I'm going to make the entire floor out of lumostone pressure pads, I think, or maybe most of the floor, maybe not all of the floor, but maybe most of the floor. Just because I want to put some traps and things in place, but I don't want it to be obvious where they start, so I need to have some form of system whereby you can't really tell if the pressure plate you're about to stand on is actually going to do anything, and the easiest way to do that, unfortunately, is just to cover the entire floor in pressure plates, and yeah, hope that people don't catch on, really. But yeah, we'll see about all of that. I think for now, it's time to tear this island to the ground. So, I have almost completed knocking out the rest of that island that we were knocking out in the last little clip there. But I decided that because this next piece of the build is going to be quite massive, like we're actually going to be building quite a lot of stuff, what I'm going to do is I'm going to build out 2 blueprints. So we're going to do an inkstone pad, which is what this is, which is going to be a 28 by 28 stone block. And we're just going to be able to place this down wherever we want that or need that on the island, which will be easy for building out all of the floor and everything, which will be perfect because we, like I said, we've got a couple of really big rooms that are about to go in. And then once we've got this guy done, I'm going to do up a similar thing but for a wall. So I want like a 28 by 28 stone wall. It's going to cost me a few settler marks, but I have been saving a few up just because I did want to do up a couple of blueprints. And the thing is that once I've done this up, this guy becomes free for me, which means that I can just place down as many of these things as I need to make up a floor, which is going to mean that it's going to save me about 3 or so hours of just running around with the boots of placing, because as you can see, it's taking up quite a long time just to do up even this 28 by 28 section, and I'm thinking that the first room is going to be about 3 of these wide and potentially somewhere up to 5 to 6 of these long. So as you can tell, there's going to be a lot of inkstone going down in the next few minutes here. So this guy is very, very important, and spending the probably 30 marks by the time I finish running around here to do this is going to be a lot better than attempting to do all of that just with the boots of placing, because that would take a very, very long time indeed. And like I said, this way we can actually get this thing done and move on with the build and don't have to spend lots and lots of time doing this. So that's really cool. Anyway, I'm going to keep it going, finish this guy off, and then we'll head over and we'll place a couple of these down and see how they look over on the island. Here we go. This is why I'm using the blueprint. So if I kind of fly up a little bit higher, you can see this dark shape on the screen. This is the outline base for floor plan for this area. Now, obviously, I have a little bit of extension to do. I can go a lot further this way, and I'm going to place another 4 tiles down here and finish off the flooring area. But as you can see, this is thousands upon thousands upon thousands of stone blocks. Well, okay, maybe just a couple of thousand stone blocks. And I have placed all of those down in around about 5 to 10 minutes, just making, stopping here and there to make sure that everything is lined up and placed in perfectly. So this is actually coming along quite well. It's coming along a lot faster than I thought it was, that is for sure. So anyway, we have a little bit of extra stuff to do. So like I said, I need to actually now need to go and get some more inkstone blocks, because this is all that I have left. I had an entire part of a rucksack full of stone blocks, and they are all gone. So I need to go and get some more, and then we'll get even more than that, so that we can make up the walls around here, and then we can start actually working on filling this place out and making this look really cool and Halloweeny. Okay, time for a quick update. So I've been doing a lot of work around here, placing down a lot of blueprints, and as you can see, we are getting really far through this build already. So this is the first room that's going to have all of the lumostone eyes in it somewhere, just kind of dotted all over the walls. This is going to be huge when we finally actually sit down in the bottom of here. Like, check this out. This is a massive room. And it's been all thanks to blueprints. This has only taken me somewhere between half an hour and an hour to actually do. So I'm very happy with that. It's amazing how quickly you can get things done with blueprints. Anyway, we're then going to have a gate here, which is going to be activated by like a bunch of pressure plates that are sitting around the front here. Some of them will trigger it and some of them won't trigger it, so you're going to have to like jiggle yourself around to try and find the right one. And then we've got a nice little corridor here, but I've got a surprise set up for that, so we're not going to really talk about that too much. And then we've got the end room over here. Now the end room is actually going to be twice as tall as this and house a gigantic monster. It's going to be awesome, and I am really keen to get moving on and actually do the monster up, but at the moment, I can't do that until I actually go out and get some more stone. As you can see, I've got just a little bit of inkstone left. I think I've sunk about a rucksack and a half so far of inkstone into this build, and we don't even have a roof on all of this yet. I do have a lot of blueprints to go to place the roof down and stuff. So we're going to have to head back over to the island that I'm currently mining all of this stuff from and get some more stuff out. Although we do have enough stuff, I think, to place down the end wall over here. So that goes about there. And then we're just going to fill this up with stuff. I did also kind of mess up the design a little bit as I was going through and doing things, but that's okay. I've kind of corrected for that as I've gone through. So yeah, there we go. Look, now we are really making progress. I am loving this thing at every turn. We've got a few more wall projectors. Like I said, this room is going to be about twice the height of the other room, just because I need all of that space to fit in the monster that I'm going to put in here. And then, yeah, we're also going to, fill off this bit and then place a roof on all of that. So that's going to take quite a lot of inkstone. This guy in here is going to get its own roof. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep the corridor like this tall. I think I'm going to cut this down a little bit and save on some inkstone, because I have a feeling I might actually run out of inkstone, despite the fact that I'm harvesting it out of an entire island. I still have a feeling I'm going to run out. So I'm going to do everything I can to conserve inkstone. And yeah, we'll push on through with this build. This is now coming along really well. So we have our big boss area, or the big monster area down here. And as you can see, underneath this thing, it is quite dark. And it gets even worse when we actually have a look at the entrance area. So the entrance area is this smaller box over here. I mean, this box is still just massive beyond comprehension. But the corridor and this other box are both just exceptionally dark, so much so that when we bust in here, they really only get to see a little bit, as you can see the airship all the way over there. And this is probably not going to come up too well on YouTube, because it is just so blisteringly dark in here, which is perfect. I mean, even when I pull a torch out, you can barely see anything around me, and that is just awesome. That is exactly what I wanted to see out of this thing. So this is going really well. We're going to go through now and start adding the eyes in. So I need to go home, grab some lumostone out and start working on that. Now I am gonna put the eyes in now, because that place is dark enough and it's done and it's ready to go. And I'm not actually going to finish the roof of this place off until I think next episode, because in next episode we're going to go through and actually put the skeleton or monster into here. I'm not sure if I'd said skeleton or not, but surprise, we're building a skeleton. But yeah, so the next episode we're going to go through and place the gigantic skeleton in here. And yeah, when we do that, I'm going to want us to be able to see what I'm doing. So I haven't actually closed this whole thing off yet, because I really do want to actually know what it is that I'm doing when I'm going through and doing this. But yeah, so the very next trick is going to be to round up a whole bunch of lumostone and set up some lumostone eyes dotted here, there, and everywhere. I think I'm also going to have to run a few connection points and things just so that I can hook all of these things up easily and nicely. But yeah, as you can see, this is the little kind of nook that the airship sits in, so that actually works out pretty well, I think. It does look a little bit odd, but I don't really mind too much. I think it will be just fine where it is. So yeah, let's grab some lumostone stuff out and see how we go. Here we go, a little bit of lumostone is going down. So right in front of me we have 8 little connecting points. Now each of these connecting points is going to be hooked up to different sets of lights down inside. So if we actually drop down inside right now, you can see kind of along the walls and things, I've started hooking up a few lights and bits and pieces, but obviously there's going to be way more than 8 lights around here. So we're going to be hooking different sets of lights up to different things as we go through, and what I really want to do is I've just kind of hooked this up to a simple latch system right now. So I've got an on and an off. I just want to turn this guy on. Beautiful. And then we're going to go have a quick look at what this actually looks like, because this is going to be a good proof of concept almost, because I've got part of the build together and I can plunge the build into relative darkness even during the daytime. Like, check this out. Oh, here we go. Check it out on the wall. That is perfect. These things look awesome. They are going to look so good when this is finished. And of course, when this is finished too, you won't be able to see the lumo lines. And what you will see though is these guys turning on and off, and it will make it look kind of like every single like spooky forest you've ever seen in a cartoon. That's kind of the idea really behind this place, is trying to get that kind of spooky like cartoon evil forest type look. And that is perfect. And when that kind of plunges into even more darkness, that's going to look even crazier. I love this. It's going to be so good. Check it out. And just the way that the corner species actually interact with that light as you move around the place too makes them just look a little bit weirder and creepier. I love it. Awesome. This is going really, really well. Let's keep going through and adding more lights to every single wall, including the back one. I think I'll put fewer in the back wall, but we'll definitely put some in the back wall. So immediately after recording that last little clip, I looked at this wall and decided that it did not have anywhere near enough eyes on it. So I've now gone through and placed a whole bunch more down. As you can see, we've got new ones up there and in there and in there and in there and up and down and just kind of all around. So I'm adding more and more and more eyes into this place because I realize that these things are going to be on timers and just kind of going off kind of randomly. So you're never going to see all of the eyes in the wall all at once. So it doesn't matter if they kind of line up a little bit or if they're on the same line or whatever. As long as they're linked to different lumostone lines up the top there, everything will look good and actually work together. So I'm going through and adding a lot more down. I've actually run out of them again, so we're going to craft up a few more. I think I'm up to about 30 so far. Probably a little bit less than that, but we're definitely going to be over 100 lumostone lights in this building before I'm finished. Even I think 3 walls on this thing, to be perfectly honest. There's a lot of lumostone going into here right now, so I'm going to go ahead and craft up a whole bunch more of these until we run out of stone again, because yeah, I am really going to need all of these. There we go. We'll craft up that many and see how we go with all of that. Now I'm going to head back down on in here, keep adding more lights into place. I'm thinking that it's just going to be kind of the rest of this episode is just going to be adding more and more lights into here, getting more like a laser show down here as I wander around with the wand. Because check this out, this is just, it looks kind of weird like running through here with the wand out, but yeah, there you go. So we're just going to keep adding these guys down. I also want to do a quick little bit down in here and add a trap along the side walls, and then we'll leave this other area alone for the time being. So yeah, it's coming along quite well. I think, yeah, we'll keep going. I need to place a lot more lumostone lights down in the wall there, but once again, we'll also go through and add the trap into the next area. Time to lay down the traps for this area. So you can see kind of on the mini-map up in the top right hand corner that I've built out some stone pads down here, and we're actually starting to fill the edges of these with dart turrets. Now this basically sits one block above the floor level in there, and that means that these guys will be able to actually shoot people. So the reason that these are so far back is because of the testing we did at the start of the video. They need to be 17 blocks away to fall just enough to hit a player in the head. So that's where we're actually setting them up, because yeah, that way they actually work, whereas if we place them down at floor level, they would collide into the hitbox of the actual pressure plates we're using to trigger them and do no damage. So that's kind of not the point of this. We actually want them to do damage, so we're going through and adding them all this way back out. The cool thing about these though is that because they're sitting at player head height, they don't see a player's head height as actually being something that they can fire at, even though when they're 17 blocks away they will hit me. That means that if I walk down this corridor now, these guys won't actually shoot at me, despite the fact that they are there and they could hit me. They won't just automatically fire at me. See, look, just walk along here without a care in the world, and I'm not even going to get shot. It works amazingly well. So I can obviously go through and add in all of the lumostone that I need in this small area to trigger off all of these guys. And of course, once we do that, we'll actually fill the back behind them with stone as well, so you don't get that kind of small amount of light eking out, which is what we're getting right now. But we do need to go through and add more of them to the other side there. I should have another bunch in the crafting up here, so we should be able to go through and add all of those in now. If I've got enough inventory space to hold them all, here we go, 14. That may not be enough. I think I may have miscalculated how many I actually needed. Also, this outside wall here is getting a little bit weird looking with all of the lumo lights that I've been placing down as eyes, but that's okay. You're never really going to see the outside of this place anyway. You're only ever going to be able to see the inside, especially once we finish up the top and the roof over there. So yeah, here we go. Like I said, I think we're going to run out of these before we hit the end, but we might not. I may have... Yeah, no, here we go. So I'm missing 4. There you go. Perfect. So I'm going to craft up another 4. I have more lumostone lights and a few more in a chest. I just wanted to get the dart turrets down and done, because I'm thinking that I'm going to hook all the lumostone for this stuff up off camera so that you guys don't actually see what's going on here, because that way it's going to be something of a puzzle and a mystery to you guys as well, which I think is going to be quite cool. Yeah, I just want this to still have that, you know, little bit of mystery and intrigue for you guys. So even if you watch my videos, you can still come here and have a bit of a look at it and go, oh, there's something I didn't see before. So yeah, and that's mostly just going to be the lumostone trickery that goes on up the top and probably down the bottom a bit as well before this thing is all finished. Now I'm probably going to end up decorating this room as well, but I'm not really sure how to do that right now. Obviously, oh yeah, see, there you go, it does actually hit me, but I need to actually be flying for these guys to go off. But yeah, so I'm not really sure how to decorate these rooms. Obviously the decoration in this room is all of the eyes that are going on absolutely everywhere, but the other room, I'm not really too sure about it. The fight scene that I'm going for in Kubo and the 2 strings does actually have like decorations and stuff on the wall, but I'm also trying to keep this build kind of tight and compact and dark, so any details I do add may get a little kind of lost in the darkness, which, I mean, in itself is kind of okay, because some people are going to wander around with a torch and find them all anyway, but at the same time it's like, do I go to all of that effort to add details that may not even be seen? And I think I will. The problem is I just don't know what details I want in there right now. So anyway, I'm going to keep cracking on. We've got some more lights over in this chest. I'm going to go pick all of those up, add those into the walls, and then we'll probably be getting pretty close to the end of this episode. And one final little look at how this is all going, because I'm starting to run out of time to record here. So we're just having a quick flick around, and bam! There is so many lights in that far side wall now. As you can see, got lots and lots of stuff going on. I've got a few extra holes here and there that I need to fill with lumostone lights, but once again I am completely out, and that is the 30 that you saw me craft and some extras, and they are all gone already. So you can see just kind of slightly through the gloom where all of these things are, and they are just very numerous and absolutely everywhere. So there's going to be lots and lots and lots of lumostone linking that has to happen between now and the next episode, because of course that is what I want to do now, is hook all of these lights up, and and have them actually start doing the things I want them to do. Of course, we've still got all of our dart turrets down along here that aren't going to fire at me, and our big room that we need to do something with at the end. Now let's take a quick, if we do that, we'll get fired at from, I thought from both sides, but apparently only from one side. Interesting. But yeah, there we go. Lots and lots of lumostone left to come. So I hope you guys have enjoyed that one. In the next episode, obviously, we're going to be finishing this guy off, showing off some, but not all of the lumostone. And it should be a good one. I am really keen to get the build done over in the bigger area over there. So anyway, like I said, I hope you guys have enjoyed that one, and I will see you in the next episode.